Caitlin Clark came into the WNBA with a lot of attention and excitement, but her welcome to professional basketball wasn't friendly at all. She quickly became the most fouled rookie in the history of the league. Many veteran players didn't treat her like a new teammate or rising star, they treated her like she had done something wrong. It felt personal. They targeted her with tough fouls and hard defense, like they had something to prove against her. Some of them seemed to dislike how much attention she had already gotten before even playing a single professional game. To them, she was still a rookie who hadn't earned anything yet. But Caitlin didn't complain. She didn't ask for special treatment or make excuses. What she did instead surprised everyone. Rather than letting the rough treatment break her, she decided to use it as motivation. She pushed herself to get stronger, faster, and tougher. She completely changed her body through hard work, training, and focus. And when the world saw her again after that transformation, people couldn't believe how much she had changed. The story of how she got there is something that most people don't know, and it's much more intense than anyone realizes. Caitlin Elizabeth Clark was born on January 22, 2002, in Des Moines, Iowa. She grew up in West Des Moines as the middle child in a family of 3 siblings. She had an older brother and a younger brother, and being the middle child shaped her entire personality. Everything in her early life felt like a competition. At home, she always had to prove herself, trying to keep up with her brothers and show she could be just as strong, smart, or fast as they were. Whether it was playing outside, arguing over who won a board game, or working on a school project, Caitlin always wanted to come out on top. Her parents, Brent and Ann Clark, were supportive, but even they didn't realize just how far their daughter would go. Her dad had played both basketball and baseball in college, and her grandfather had been a football coach. Sports were a big part of their family life, and that environment encouraged Caitlin's competitive spirit from a young age. But Caitlin wasn't just naturally athletic, she was obsessed with winning. Even when she was only 5 years old, she could dribble a basketball like she had been practicing for years. She hated losing, no matter the game or situation. That drive sometimes made her lose control. One time, after a heated fight with her brother, she actually threw him into a wall so hard that his head split open. Their mom had to break up fights like that many times. Caitlin's talents weren't limited to basketball. In fact, basketball wasn't even her first focus. During high school, she scored 26 goals in just 6 soccer games. Her soccer coach believed she could have easily played Division I soccer in college. She also played volleyball, tennis, softball, golf, and even learned piano. Caitlin was the kind of person who could have chosen any path and succeeded. But deep down, she knew that basketball was where her heart truly belonged. When Caitlin started playing basketball, there wasn't a girls' league for her age group. Her father had to sign her up to play in boys' leagues just so she could compete. Those early years of playing against boys made her tougher and gave her an edge. She had to fight for her spot on the court and earn the respect of her teammates and opponents. That experience gave her the kind of toughness that many players never develop. By 6th grade, she had joined the All-Iowa Attack AAU team based in Ames, and that's when things started to change in a big way. At just 13 years old, she was already playing against older girls. One coach remembered watching her hit a step-back three-pointer, then follow it up with a perfect pass that no one touched but landed exactly where it needed to go. That coach also said that while other kids celebrated wins by going out for ice cream, Caitlin didn't care about that. She only wanted to play harder, get better, and win more. That moment was when people began to realize just how special she was. By the time Caitlin was a junior at Dowling Catholic High School, she had already become a local legend. On February 4, 2019, she scored 60 points in a single game. She dropped 25 points in just the first quarter and hit 13 three-pointers total. That was the most anyone had ever made in a game in Iowa history. Even students from the other team lined up after the game to get her autograph. That year, she finished as the top scorer in the state. And when she came back as a senior, she did it again. During her senior season, she averaged 33.4 points per game, along with 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and nearly 3 steals. She finished her high school career with 2,547 points, which made her 4th all-time in Iowa history. She also set the record for most three-pointers ever made. On February 25, 2019, she scored 42 points in a triple overtime win during the state tournament. She led her team to a 19-4 record and collected just about every major award, including Miss Iowa Basketball, Gatorade Player of the Year, and All-Iowa Athlete of the Year. By the time she was finished with high school, she was already a legend in her home state. On November 25, 2020, Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court at Iowa's Carver Hawkeye Arena for her first college game. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the stands were mostly empty. But that didn't matter. All eyes were on the 18-year-old freshman, and she delivered in a huge way. That night, she scored 27 points, grabbed 8 rebounds, handed out 4 assists, and shot an incredible 58% from the field. From the first possession of the game, it was obvious she wasn't just a good freshman. She was already the best player on the court. Even her defense stood out. She grabbed 3 steals and showed that she wasn't just about scoring, she could disrupt plays and change the game on both ends of the floor. Her teammates that night included Gabby Marshall, Kate Martin, McKenna Warnock, and Monica Chinano. They would later go on to play in a national championship game with her. But on that first night, it was all about Caitlin. It was clear she was going to change the future of Iowa basketball. Only a month later, Caitlin did something even more impressive. On December 22, in a game against Western Illinois, she recorded her first career triple-double. She scored 13 points, pulled down 13 rebounds, and gave out 10 assists. And what made it even more amazing was that she had a bad shooting night, going just 3 for 15 from the field. But instead of giving up or getting frustrated, she changed her focus. She worked on helping her teammates, finding open players, and creating chances for others. The assist that completed her triple-double came from a perfect pass to Logan Cook in the paint. It was the first triple-double by an Iowa player since 2015, and her coach, Lisa Bluder, knew how rare that kind of performance was. She called it special, because it just didn't happen often. Caitlin did it in her first month as a college player. When reporters asked Caitlin about the triple-double, she didn't brag or talk about how proud she was. Instead, she said something that showed her maturity. She admitted she wasn't shooting well, so she just tried to get her teammates going. That's not the kind of thinking most freshmen have, that's how a true leader talks. Then came February 11. Iowa traveled to play Nebraska, and Caitlin walked into their arena and completely dominated the game. She scored 39 points, grabbed 10 rebounds, and handed out 7 assists. She hit 12 of her 18 shots and was perfect from the free throw line. She scored from every angle, and Nebraska simply couldn't stop her. By the time the game ended, Caitlin had scored more than 600 points that season. Only 4 other players in Iowa history had done that. And remember, she was still a freshman. But this wasn't just a hot streak. Caitlin wasn't having a few good games, she was leading the entire country in scoring. No other freshman in Division I basketball had ever done that. Not one. She was averaging 29.8 points per game before that Nebraska matchup. She was on fire, and nobody could keep up with her. By the end of her freshman season, Caitlin had rewritten the record books. She scored 799 points in just 30 games, averaging 26.6 points per game. That was more than any freshman had ever scored in one season, not just at Iowa, but in the entire country. She led all of Division I in total points, points per game, field goals made, and three-pointers made. She was also second in the nation in assists per game. And when it came to three-pointers, Caitlin wasn't just shooting a lot, she was making them at a historic level. She made 116 threes in 30 games, which was nearly 4 per game. No freshman had ever done that before. She had 12 games with 30 points or more, a number not seen since 2000. She broke Iowa's freshman scoring record and ended up with the 3rd highest single-season point total in the school's history. Only Megan Gustafson had scored more, and she did that as a senior, not a freshman. Caitlin didn't just win the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. She dominated the entire award scene. She won 23 Big Ten honors in her first season. She was named Freshman of the Week 13 times and Player of the Week 5 times, the first freshman in history to do that. She made the All-Big Ten first team, and both the coaches and the media agreed on that choice. Nationally, she was named Co-Freshman of the Year, sharing the honor with Ukens Paige Buchers. That made Caitlin the first player from Iowa to ever win a National Freshman Award. In Big Ten play, Caitlin averaged 27.7 points and 6.6 assists per game. She scored 30 or more in 9 conference games and scored at least 20 in 8 more. Her performance didn't just bring her fame, it brought Iowa back into the spotlight. The team made it all the way to the Big Ten tournament final and reached the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. That marked only the 8th time Iowa had reached the Sweet 16 and the 3rd time in 4 years. Caitlin Clark's story is one of hard work, fearless competition, and refusing to back down. From fighting her brothers at home to breaking records in college and facing tough challenges in the WNBA, she never lets anything stop her. She uses every setback as fuel. Every time someone tries to knock her down, she rises even stronger. That's the part of her story most people don't understand. They see the points, the highlights, and the fame, but they don't see the battles, the pain, and the fire that drives her. Caitlin Clark is more than a basketball player. She's a fighter who never stops proving she belongs. In 2021, something amazing happened in college basketball. A young woman named Caitlin Clark did something that no one had ever done before in Division I women's basketball. She was only in her 2nd year, a sophomore, but she led the entire country in both scoring and assists. That meant she wasn't just the player scoring the most points, she was also the player helping her teammates score the most. She averaged 27 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds every single game. Most players focus on just one thing. Some are known for scoring, and others are known for passing or defending. But Caitlin didn't follow those rules. She decided she would do everything. She wasn't just a scorer or a playmaker, she was both at the same time. That kind of balance was extremely rare. The most surprising part wasn't just how many points she was scoring. It was that she was doing that while still managing to make so many assists. Passing the ball 8 times a game to create scoring opportunities for her teammates while still being the top scorer herself confused everyone. Defenders were constantly trying to stop her. They used all kinds of tactics, double teaming, triple teaming, even pushing and pulling. But none of it worked. She still managed to make impossible passes and find her teammates wide open. It was like she had eyes in the back of her head. Her basketball IQ was incredibly high. Defenses kept trying to guess what she would do next, and every time, they guessed wrong. As she continued to perform at this high level, the attention around her grew. The pressure did too. Other teams knew she was special, and they didn't want her to shine. So they tried to wear her down physically. They bumped into her, yanked on her jersey, and tried to rough her up. Some defenders even crossed the line of what should be allowed. Coaches from other teams made entire game strategies just to stop her. But Caitlin never backed down. Every time they tried to knock her down, she got up stronger. It wasn't just about skill anymore. It was about mental strength. She was tough, and no one could break her. While all this was happening, something bigger was also growing. People all across the country started paying attention to women's basketball in a way they hadn't before. It wasn't just fans from Iowa or the Big Ten Conference anymore. It was people from every state. Television ratings went up. News reporters from big networks started flying in to cover her games. Every game started selling out. Caitlin wasn't just helping her team, she was helping the entire sport grow. Everyone wanted to see what she would do next, and she always gave them something unforgettable. By 2023, her fame exploded. Iowa hadn't made it to the Final Four in 30 years, not since 1993. That changed on March 26 when Caitlin led her team to victory and broke that drought. She didn't just play well, she dominated. In that tournament alone, she scored 191 points. That's not a mistake. She really scored 191 points during the NCAA tournament. She averaged over 30 points per game. And her teammates like McKenna Warnock and Monica Chinano also stepped up. Caitlin inspired everyone around her to perform better. In the Elite Eight round against Louisville, she had one of the greatest performances in history. She scored 41 points, made 12 assists, and grabbed 10 rebounds, a triple-double. No one had ever done that in NCAA tournament history, not even in the men's division. It was her 11th triple-double, but this one stood out. She hit long-distance shots, drove through defenders, and made perfect passes. Even when 3 players were guarding her, she found a way to shine. The most amazing stat from that game was that she either scored or assisted on 70 of Iowa's 97 total points. Then came the semifinal game against the undefeated defending champions, South Carolina. They had won 42 straight games and were expected to win again easily. But on March 31, 2023, Caitlin shocked everyone. She scored another 41 points, added 8 assists and 6 rebounds. In the fourth quarter, she was responsible for every single point Iowa scored. South Carolina's defense was considered the best in the country, and she made them look lost. Her deep three-pointers and confident style left the crowd speechless. On April 2, 2023, Caitlin was just one win away from winning the national championship, a dream she had since she was a little girl. But that dream ended in heartbreak. Iowa lost to LSU with a final score of 102-85. On paper, it seemed like a clear win for LSU, but the reality was more painful. Caitlin had fought with everything she had to carry Iowa into that game. She had scored 41 points in 2 straight games before that. In the final, she made 8 three-pointers and scored 30 points. She did everything possible, but it still wasn't enough. As the game ended, the look on her face showed it all. She had given everything, but her dream slipped through her fingers. Even after that painful loss, she didn't slow down. In her senior year, she came back stronger than ever. On February 15, 2024, she played against Michigan. That night was special because she needed only 8 points to break Kelsey Plum's all-time NCAA women's scoring record of 3,527 points. Just 2 minutes into the game, she hit a long three-pointer from the center of the court. That shot made her the highest scorer in women's NCAA history. But she wasn't done. She went on to score 49 points in that game, more than anyone had ever scored in a single game in Iowa's history. She also had 13 assists and 5 rebounds. She broke the record in just 126 games, which was faster than Plum, who had done it in 139. By the end of that game, she had 3,569 total points. She was now a living legend. On March 3, 2024, Caitlin chased an even bigger record, one that had stood for 54 years. Pete Maravich had scored 3,667 points, the most in Division I basketball history, for either men or women. Caitlin needed just 17 more points to beat it. The game was packed with fans, and tickets were being sold for nearly $600 each. The whole country was watching. In the first half, she hit a free throw. That single point put her above Pete's record. She didn't react much at first. She didn't even realize what she had done until the crowd went wild. By the end of the game, she had scored 35 points. She was now officially the all-time leading scorer in college basketball history. Off the court, things were changing too. Fox Sports created something brand new just for her. They launched a live camera called Caitlin Cam, which followed only her during games and streamed on TikTok. It was something that had never been done before. Her games sold out in every city. TV ratings hit record highs. People who had never watched women's basketball before became obsessed. Her long three-pointers, her fast passes, and her intense focus made her unforgettable. She wasn't just playing the game. She was changing it. And then she did something that no one in Big Ten history had ever done. In the Big Ten tournament final against Ohio State, she had 30 points, 17 assists, and 10 rebounds, a triple-double in a championship game. No one had ever scored 30 points and made 15 assists in one game in the past 20 years. She did it while making 5 three-pointers and shooting over 52% from the floor. It was her 10th career triple-double, placing her among the best ever. Then came the NCAA tournament again. Everyone knew this was her last chance to win a national title. In the Final Four, Iowa faced UConn. For most of the game, they kept her quiet. But in the last few minutes, with the score tied, Caitlin took over. She scored 7 points in 2.5 minutes, and Iowa won 71-69. That victory sent them to the championship game once again. On April 15, 2024, Caitlin Clark was drafted first overall by the Indiana Fever in the WNBA. No one was surprised, but the impact was bigger than expected. She had already become the top scorer in NCAA history and had broken assist records. Now she was heading into the toughest league in the world. The pressure got even more intense. During her rookie season, she got over 700,000 All-Star votes, the most in WNBA history. Her jersey became the top seller, and wherever she played, the arenas were full. Game attendance jumped by 88% whenever she was on the court. This became known as the Caitlin Clark effect. But the spotlight came with challenges. Her debut game on May 14, 2024, didn't go smoothly. She scored 20 points but had 10 turnovers, the most ever in a WNBA debut. The league was tough. Veteran players didn't make things easy for her. In a game against Chicago, Kennedy Carter hit her hard with an off-ball foul so intense it was later upgraded to a flagrant. Caitlin also led the league in turnovers, with 225 total that season. That was the most in WNBA history. She missed 10 games because of injuries, something she had never experienced in college. The league was faster, rougher, and more physically demanding than anything she had faced before. But she didn't give up. She broke records anyway. On August 18, 2024, she broke the rookie assist record with 337 total assists. That wasn't just a rookie record, it was the most assists by any player in a WNBA season. She scored 769 points in the season, more than any rookie ever. She also made 122 three-pointers, breaking another record. In one game, she had 19 assists against the Dallas Wings and produced 66 total points between scoring and passing. That broke a record held by Diana Taurasi. She became the first rookie ever to record a triple-double in July 2024 with 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists. She did it again 2 months later. By her second season, she already had 3 triple-doubles in just 41 games, putting her in the same category as legends like Candace Parker and Sabrina Ionescu. At the end of the season, she won Rookie of the Year with 66 out of 67 votes. She also made the All-WNBA first team, something only 5 rookies had done since 2000. She led all rookies in scoring, assists, steals, and minutes. The numbers proved it. She wasn't just the best rookie, she was one of the best players in the league. Her personal life also gained attention. In April 2023, Caitlin started dating Connor McCaffrey, the son of Iowa's men's basketball coach. He had played for Iowa too and later became a coach. Their relationship began quietly, but in August 2023, she posted a picture of them together on a boat. Just 3 words, best end to summer. Fans loved it. In January 2025, Connor posted a birthday tribute calling her amazing and inspiring. She responded with a simple love you. On his birthday in July 2025, she wrote, happy birthday, Con. You make every day better. Through all the fame and pressure, their relationship stayed strong. Her family was also a huge part of her life. Her father Brent played sports in college and coached her when she was young. Her mother Ann worked in marketing and helped her handle the business side of fame. Her brothers Blake and Colin pushed her to be tougher and more competitive. Her parents went to almost every game. When she won major awards like the Naismith Trophy and AP Player of the Year in March 2023, her family was proud beyond words. In October 2023, she started the Caitlin Clark Foundation to help kids through sports, education, and nutrition. It raised over $100,000 for a local food pantry even before she played a single WNBA game. On March 7, 2025, a photo of her cheering from the bench during an Iowa game went viral. People noticed her muscles. Fans said she had gained 15 pounds of muscle. The photo hit over 3.2 million views. Everyone had something to say. ESPN even brought it up on national broadcasts. When she finally talked about it, she joked it was just the camera angle and AI filters. But then she admitted she had been working out a lot more. It wasn't just for looks, it was for survival. Her first WNBA season had been brutal. She was fouled 111 times, the most for any rookie. One of those fouls, by Kennedy Carter, was so hard it got upgraded to a flagrant. Caitlin later said, "Everyone is physical with me. They get away with stuff that others don't." It wasn't a complaint, it was the truth. Being the face of women's basketball put a target on her. So she teamed up with Indiana Fever's strength coach, Sarah Kessler. They trained 4 to 5 days a week. The workouts focused on balance, leg strength, core, and even her left arm to improve passing. She also took creatine, a natural supplement that helps muscle recovery. Some fans were surprised, but it worked. Caitlin didn't change her body to go viral or look good. She did it because she had to. Because she was tired of being knocked around. Because she refused to let fouls, injuries, or pressure ruin her career. She wasn't just playing basketball. She was fighting to stay on the court, leading a revolution in the process.